All right, everybody. What is the reason why so many business owners struggle with leads in 2025? I have worked with thousands of business owners over 20 years of my career and investors. And just generally speaking, if you ask people, hey, what is the problem in your business? They say they need more leads, they need more consistent leads, more qualified leads, more interested leads. And the reality is, they don't need more leads. They need to sell them better. And if they're not getting enough qualified interested leads, it means their pipeline isn't wide enough. So I was talking to Grant Cardone about this one time, and he said something really insightful. It's not about the filter. The filter is important, but you're thinking about it the wrong way. If you widen the size of the pipeline, then you'll get a much better outcome. So in this video, I'm going to share a simple 3-step framework that allows me and my clients to generate tons of qualified interested leads and continue to grow the pie and make more marbles for everybody, which is the point of this channel. So I want to teach this to you. It should take, I don't know, 5-10 minutes. So dial in, take some notes, and put the cat in the other room so they don't bother you and all that good stuff. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and go over to my whiteboard here and show you. We got a little bit of a fanciness going on over here. Okay, so most people, when you ask them, hey, is it my offer? Is it my sales? Is it my leads? Is it my operations? By and large, they're going to say leads, like more than 50% of the time, right? These are SMBs that I work with all the time. And this is what I call the OSLO framework, right? And this is the order of operations, should go this way, actually. This is the order of operations where you solve problems in your business. Because if your offer sucks, it's not going to matter how well you sell it, right? You got to start with, hey, what do I actually offer these people? And how do I get them the best possible outcome? And how do I make it really enticing to work with me and all that great stuff? Then, if you can't communicate the value that you provide, the offer, in a way where money moves from their bank account into your bank account, you're also going to have problems. So stop there because you don't want to start generating a bunch of leads, which take up time, energy, attention, and money before you figure out your sales process. Now, okay, you got your offer and you're ready to sell it and you know exactly how to communicate. You get a good conversion rate, right? Conversion percentage here. Now, all right, let's get more leads. Okay, cool. And we want to make sure these people are qualified, right? Interested and plentiful, more importantly, right? So that we're not having to come from a place of scarcity, but a place of abundance. And then finally, all right, we got our great offer. It's selling well. We got people who are qualified, interested, that are ready to buy it. Now we want to be able to scale with quality, which requires team, SOPs, systems, etc. Right? So this is the Oslo framework. Very simply, just to ground us, but we're going to focus specifically today on leads because that is the thing that people most struggle with when they're growing their business. So now I want to introduce you to a very simple 3-part framework. There's really 3 ways to fill your pipeline. And here's why great businesses do all 3, right? And I know we're in the land of YouTube, so we'll start there. There's people that follow the trends. There's people who phone a friend, and there's people who spend. Now, we could talk about the benefits and the drawbacks of each of these, and we should. But let's just start with trends. So, trends are how you earn attention, right? This is organic content that people actually want to consume. So, it's not just content you make and put out there, and hopefully nobody, hopefully people watch it. It's like, no, you do this, the study, you figure out what the trends are, you figure out what people are actually wanting, and you make that content, right? And this is high effort, but high control, right? You can't really predict if something's going to go viral or not, but you can show up consistently, just like I'm doing here. I've been doing a video every week on YouTube. I've been posting on Facebook for 18 years. I got 8,300 just written Facebook posts. I've been consistently creating content, and lo and behold, I've made millions of dollars selling my products and services. So really, you want to start with trends because that allows you to figure out what people actually want and what's actually working, what they actually want to consume before you go to your friends or before you spend money on it, right? So this is really important when you are uh, building your brand, building your message, understanding what it is, like actually put it out on social platforms. Social media is the greatest opportunity in modern history for businesses. So I always like to start here. right? Okay, now I got something that's working. I want to phone a friend, right? This is JVs, affiliates, referral partners, other people's audiences. This is content, mostly organic, right? Any platform that you want, referrals, and now we phone our friends. We don't want to just come to our friends incorrectly. We want to make sure we dial this offer in a little bit and understand what it is, and use some of our own network and our own social media to promote it, so that when we go to our friends, we're coming correct, right? And then if both of these are working, right? If we've proven out that, hey, yeah, these really warm people and these really hot people will buy. Well, now maybe we're willing to make some expenditures over here and take some risk. Because if we think about it this way, so let's go friends, just from a risk perspective, trends and spend. This would be considered high risk, but high control, right? This over here, I would say, is more like low risk and low control. And this is kind of mid risk because this takes a lot of time. And we have mid control. We can show up, be consistent, but that's about it, right? We can't really tell what's going to go viral or how the algorithm's going to pick it up, but we can be consistent. That tends to win the game, right? So if I was to think about these in terms of risk, ultimately I want a business where I can put $1 in and more than $1 comes out. How much? So I'd say at least $3+ comes out, right? If I can get to five or more, so $1 goes in and five or more dollars come out, oh my God, I'm going to do that all day long. I had a business once with a client that he built that was getting $9 for every dollar he spent on Instagram ads. I mean, when you see a business like that, I'm going to be looking at my couch cushions for change to grow that as fast as possible. Like you get maybe five of those in your entire life where it's just you're on the right opportunity bubble at the right time. It's underserved, it's super high demand, and they love your offer, and just everything aligns and stars align. You want to go all in on this, but people are so afraid to spend money, right? They're just so afraid to spend their hard-earned dollars, which is why I recommend, hey, start with this, these different things, right? Start with the trend, build some audience and some trust, go to your friends, do these two first so that you can more confidently spend the money and maybe like put 20% aside, right? And this is money that doesn't belong to you. This belongs to the business to help grow it. And you put it in a separate account and you just use it for ads. Because when you can figure out ads, that's when you really start to scale. People who really scale, they don't just do one of these things, they do all three of these things. They put out the organic content, they do the affiliate stuff, and they really go hard charging on the ads. And when they find something that works really well, they're going to put it out to the world and blast it, right? They're going to make sure that everybody sees it. So, case in point, um, we wrote a book, or I wrote a book, so I should say, um, called The 8 Minute Mastermind, right? And the 8 Minute Mastermind is a self-published book. It was also on Amazon. We sold about 12,000 copies of this book in 4 years and made about $2.2 million on the back end, right? And I'm not saying this to brag or impress, just stating a fact, right? So essentially, we spent about $500,000 on ads to generate the leads that we sold that offer to. So if you kind of do the math, that's pretty simply 500K in equals 2.2 million out. Carry the one, that's about a 4x ROAS, a little maybe like 4.5x ROAS, return on ad spend, right? So I really love this niche and I love helping people build masterminds. It's part of my mission. I believe masterminds are one of the only things in history that has consistently changed the world. Small groups of people, like the founding fathers, 52 people changed the world. It's kind of a mastermind group, right? So I love masterminds and I continue to do them. I continue to be a part of them. 5 years later, I've worked with hundreds and hundreds of clients, thousands indirectly helping launch all these masterminds. So I wrote another book. It's called $1 Million Masterminds. This is a better book, in my opinion, because I know more and I can share more. And I wrote this book with a goal in mind of I want to increase my impact. And the easiest way to track impact is money, right? It's not always easy to track all the ways that you improve people's lives. You don't even know sometimes. Like the domino ripple effects go on forever. And I love the stories. Please keep them coming. If you've built a mastermind and done it with our help, I'd love to hear about your story. We can even share it as a case study to help find other people who we can help. But anyway, the long story short is like I'm setting a monetary goal for myself where I'd like to um, take this book and do twice the money, 2x, so 4.4 million in half the time. So that took us about 4 years. This I would like to do in 2 years. So, like, I've already got a model that works. I know that it works. I know that I can make it better. I know I can continue to tweak and improve it. So now's the time to go all in on myself. So I've done the friend thing, I've done the trend thing, I've even done the spend thing. Now it's time to like really go all in. So this is where I get confident in the model using all three spend, trend, and friend. And now it's my job just to notice and pay attention to the numbers, right? The numbers won't lie to you. So we just did our launch and the numbers look pretty good. They're not where I want them to be yet, but they're about like 60, 70% of where I want them to be in the funnel. And I want to make sure that I continue to tweak those and make those better so that I can continue to grow this business. Right. But what I want you to take away from this is we have to be strategic about the ways that we grow our business, the way that we grow our pipeline, and make sure that we're not creating a business that ultimately traps us. Because here's what happens. You hit up all your friends, you ride the trends, but you don't spend. This is what I see all the time. You don't spend the money. You don't put the money aside. The money gets spent on something else, right? It always gets spent somewhere. And now you're back to square one. And what's worse is now you need clients versus value clients. And this is a big distinction I see over and over again. I want you to be in a place of valuing clients and choosing which clients to work with and setting proper boundaries and having a healthy relationship with your money and having a healthy relationship with your business. We don't need to take on any schmuck that walks through the door. You get to be discerning about who you work with. And there's so much of a pipeline, right? The pipeline's so big. You have so much going on up here that this is up to you how many you want to work with and how much you want to charge and all that great stuff. But it doesn't happen unless you widen the pipeline. And these are the real three ways to do this. And my humble opinion, you use the leverage of friend and trend to create the money to then spend. And when you crack that, you go hard. So people who scale like crazy, I have a friend named Cole Gordon who's done very, very well. You might know him, closers.io. I saw him scale from out of his business from like 100K to 500K to like 1.5 million, 3 million a month. Like he would make these quantum leaps, and it's always because he just would just jack up the ad spend 2, 3x every time that he felt really strong about the numbers. He was constantly going all in and betting on himself, and that's why he gets to be him. And the rest of us maybe aren't so successful. And I'm not saying that he did that recklessly. I'm saying he did that very strategically, and he bought the right to scale his business by testing it out. So I would love to see comments on this. I'd love to see what you take away. I shared the Oslo framework. I shared the friend trend spend framework. And what I'm advocating is you don't spend all your money on ads or go willy-nilly or do it out of order. I'm saying you leverage friend and trend as much as possible, get really consistent there, and take a part of that money and consistently chip away at the ads thing so that you can get a 3-to-1 ROAS or better, so that you can scale your business, and so that you're not so reliant on referrals or affiliate or JVs, which you don't have any control over, or the trends, which you don't have any control over, the platforms, the algorithm, everything that can shift and ruin your business, you have more control because somebody somewhere will always give you attention, like sell you attention for money, right? Somebody somewhere will always do that. That's the business model of every single business that creates these types of attention. And regardless of your goals with your business, you need to be able to play the game. And I'm here to help you play the game more effectively so you can have a bigger impact and help more people. And that's the Make More Marbles philosophy. So if you're new to this channel, please like, subscribe, and comment. It does really help us out. And we're so grateful that you're here. And I'll see you on the next video. Check out the last ones on AI. We're doing some of this, some of that. There's some great stuff here. And I think a lot of business owners could benefit from what I've learned working with clients for 20 years. So I'm going to start sharing more. All right. Talk to you soon. Stay blessed.